some point, right? Maybe a place where there are no laws or rules, where you and your partner can do whatever you want without anyone judging. Such a place exists, and it's called Slab City. Welcome to Eagle Discovery, where we uncover unique communities and fascinating stories from around the world. Let's dive into the mystery of Slab City. The birth of Slab City. Nestled deep within California's rugged, sun-scorched desert, Slab City stands as an anomaly, a place that defies the conventions of modern society. Often referred to as the last free place in America, Slab City is a self-styled sanctuary that operates without the oversight of government, law enforcement, or any institutional structure. Located near the small town of Nyland, this off-the-grid settlement has become a symbol of freedom for those seeking to live outside the boundaries of conventional society. Originally, this area was known as a haven for drifters, the homeless, and individuals looking to escape the often stifling structure of mainstream life. With its lack of utilities and services, Slab City quickly gained a reputation as a place where people could live freely, or in some cases survive on their own terms. Despite its rough and somewhat chaotic nature, Slab City has endured for decades, existing without the controls we might expect in other communities. But the question remains, how has Slab City survived despite its lawless, anarchic existence? What makes this place tick? Is it truly a land of freedom, or is it a place brimming with untold risks? In this post, we'll uncover the stories, challenges, and contradictions of Slab City, an environment that tests the limits of human endurance, community, and the idea of freedom itself. All right, if you're new to this channel, Eagle Discovery warmly welcomes you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell to catch our upcoming content. Life in extreme conditions. Living in Slab City is not for the faint of heart. Situated in the Imperial Valley, this desert landscape can experience some of the most extreme temperatures in the United States. Daytime temperatures regularly soar above 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, during the hottest months of the year, creating a harsh and unforgiving environment. Nights, however, offer a dramatic shift, with temperatures plunging to freezing levels, making the climate unpredictably challenging. Despite these conditions, Slab City offers a form of refuge, particularly for those who are disillusioned with modern society. For many, the appeal lies in the ability to live off the grid, free from the pressures of taxes, work, and the societal constraints that govern most of our daily lives. Yet this freedom comes with significant trade-offs. One of the defining characteristics of life in Slab City is the absence of basic infrastructure. There are no utilities, no electricity, no running water, and no restrooms. Most residents rely on solar power or generators to provide electricity, and water is sourced from nearby wells, which often isn't potable without purification. Waste management is a constant issue, and many people use makeshift toilets or rely on portable bathrooms. The lack of sanitation and basic services makes Slab City an extremely difficult place to live. Yet for many, it's a price worth paying to escape the conventional world. The homes within Slab City are equally unconventional. Many are constructed from salvaged materials, old shipping containers, scrap metal, and recycled wood. Some residents build elaborate structures, while others live in simple trailers or tents. The walls of these homes are often decorated with vibrant street art and graffiti, making Slab City feel like an ever-evolving outdoor gallery. However, it's important to note that the art is more than just aesthetic. It reflects the diverse and sometimes desperate realities of those who call this place home. A military past. Slab City wasn't always the unconventional refuge it is today. Its origins stretch back to the early 1940s, when the United States government established a military base here during World War II. Known as Camp Dunlap, this facility was built to serve as an artillery training camp. The military used the site to train soldiers in desert warfare tactics, teaching them how to operate heavy artillery in the harsh, barren desert environment. The location was ideal due to its remote setting and proximity to various training areas. During the war, Camp Dunlap housed thousands of soldiers who trained rigorously, preparing for the challenges of global conflict. After the war ended, the camp was deemed unnecessary and was decommissioned by the U.S. Army in 1956. As a result, the base was dismantled, leaving behind only the concrete slabs that once supported military structures and equipment. These slabs, scattered across the desert floor, would eventually give rise to the settlement that would become known as Slab City. The creation of Slab City. By the 1960s and 1970s, Slab City began to attract a new type of inhabitant. With the Vietnam War raging, the United States government had no further use for the military base, and the land remained largely abandoned. This, however, created an opportunity for those looking for a place to escape the mainstream. The early settlers of Slab City were not the first to seek refuge in the desert. Following the counterculture movement of the 1960s, a growing number of individuals began to explore alternative lifestyles, living on the fringes of society and opting for self-sufficiency and independence. Many of these individuals were war veterans, drifters, or idealistic youth who rejected the consumer-driven, regimented nature of modern life. These early pioneers began to take residence on the concrete slabs left behind by the military, repurposing the remains of the abandoned base to build rudimentary homes, shacks, and art installations. By the late 1970s, the area had become a full-fledged community. The harsh desert climate and lack of infrastructure meant that Slab City was never going to be a place for everyone. Yet it provided a unique opportunity for individuals to live without government interference or societal expectations. It was a lawless zone, a place where people could live as they saw fit. Over time, it became a symbol of the counterculture ethos, a modern-day Wild West where the rules of conventional society no longer applied. Today, Slab City is home to a patchwork of residents, some permanent, some transient, each with their own story. The community continues to evolve, with new generations of individuals drawn to the idea of living on the fringe, where freedom and self-reliance are valued above all else. In some ways, Slab City reflects both the idealism and the struggles of those seeking to carve out an existence outside the norms of mainstream society. It is a place where art, survival, and personal freedom intersect, creating a fascinating, if sometimes dangerous, environment for those who choose to call it home. Life without laws. Slab City became a symbol of freedom for some, while others still longed for the security of rules. Here, you can live in any way you choose, whether with a partner or as a single individual. You could do whatever you wanted without worrying about judgment. Many people come to experience this ultimate freedom, while others are artists who create freely without constraints. The community allows people to be themselves without any fear of social judgment. For some, however, the lack of laws can be scary. With no official law enforcement, some people here may behave violently or irresponsibly. The safety of residents is entirely up to them. Conflicts can arise at any time, and at night, strange sounds may surround your camp. Therefore, it's not uncommon for people to carry weapons for self-defense. Harsh living conditions. The living conditions in Slab City are nothing short of extreme. Located in the heart of the California desert, this place is a battleground against nature's unforgiving forces. Temperatures soar well above 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, on most days, often reaching 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, during peak summer. These relentless heat waves can leave residents feeling drained and desperate for relief. Air conditioning is a luxury few can afford, and the dry, suffocating air makes the intense sun even harder to bear. Imagine trying to sleep at night when the desert heat doesn't seem to fade, and the air is thick with dust. For many, it's a daily struggle to stay hydrated and cool. Water, the most precious resource, is not easily accessible. In Slab City, running water doesn't exist. The nearest store that sells water is several miles away, and you're lucky if the supply lasts more than a few days. People become extremely resourceful, reusing water as much as possible. Showers are a rare luxury. Many residents rely on makeshift solutions such as solar showers, which are essentially large plastic bags filled with water that heat up under the sun, allowing for a quick rinse. Hygiene is a constant challenge, and while some residents manage to make do, there's no escaping the fact that sanitation is minimal. With no proper plumbing, waste is often left to decompose in the open desert, making the environment feel more like an abandoned frontier than a community. The difficulty of life in Slab City isn't just about physical discomfort. It's a test of mental endurance as well. The extreme isolation can wear down even the strongest spirits, and for those unprepared for the intensity of desert life, it can be overwhelming. However, for others, these harsh conditions are part of the appeal. Slab City offers a raw, unfiltered connection to nature and a life stripped of convenience, which many find liberating despite the challenges. A creative hub for artists. Despite, or perhaps because of, the harsh environment, Slab City has earned a reputation as a creative hub for independent artists. The freedom to live off the grid and the lack of traditional societal constraints allow for a thriving, almost anarchic art scene. Artists here are not bound by commercial pressures, and there are no rules about what art should be. They can experiment with materials, forms, and ideas without fear of judgment or the need to sell their work. The result is an eclectic collection of creative expressions that reflect the personalities and stories of the individuals who create them. Some of the most well-known works in Slab City are its public art installations, which often incorporate salvaged materials. These can include sculptures made from discarded metal, intricate murals painted on the sides of trailers, and sprawling works of graffiti that transform concrete slabs into vibrant canvases. One of the most famous artistic spots in the area is East Jesus, a makeshift art gallery that is home to a variety of sculptures and installations created by both local and visiting artists. This outdoor museum is filled with bizarre, thought-provoking pieces, from human-sized figures made of scrap metal to colorful mosaics. It's a space where people are encouraged to leave their mark, contributing to a living, evolving work of art. For many artists, Slab City is more than just a place to live. It's a place to express their true selves, away from the conventional expectations of the art world. The community here is incredibly diverse, and while some artists embrace their anonymity, many use the space to challenge the norms of contemporary art. Without the influence of galleries or the commercial art scene, they are free to create work that is deeply personal or intentionally provocative, often addressing themes of isolation, freedom, and societal critique. Some residents also host workshops, teach skills, and collaborate on projects that allow others to join the creative process. For instance, there are informal gatherings for people interested in learning how to work with found objects, create their own solar-powered devices, or paint. It's a place where creativity knows no bounds, and the opportunities for self-expression are as limitless as the desert sky. The pros and cons of living in Slab City. Living in Slab City comes with a unique set of advantages and challenges that can be both exhilarating and exhausting, depending on one's perspective. Pros: one of the main attractions to Slab City is the profound sense of freedom it offers. It's a place where people can live life on their own terms, far from the expectations of society. There are no utility bills, no rent, and no government interference. You are free to live as you choose, whether that means building your own house from recycled materials, growing your own food, or simply living in a community that values independence above all else. This kind of self-sufficiency is rare in modern life, and for many, it's a powerful form of liberation. Moreover, for those seeking solitude, Slab City offers a level of isolation that is hard to find in more populated areas. It's a place where you can disconnect from the noise and demands of urban life and experience a simpler, quieter existence. The desert offers a unique connection to nature, and for those who value peace and reflection, it can be a spiritual experience. For artists, creatives, and nonconformists, Slab City provides an almost unmatched environment for expression. The absence of societal judgment or commercial pressures means that art can flourish in unconventional ways. For many, the community's openness to new ideas and alternative lifestyles makes it a nurturing space to explore their creative potential. Cons. However, this lifestyle is not without its difficulties. The harsh living conditions, extreme weather, and lack of basic amenities can be overwhelming for those unprepared for the challenges of desert life. The absence of modern conveniences such as electricity, running water, and public services makes day-to-day survival a constant struggle. While some embrace the simplicity and self-sufficiency, others may find themselves physically drained or mentally exhausted by the demands of living in such an isolated environment. Another downside is the lack of security. Slab City is a lawless zone, and while most residents are peaceful and respectful, there is a dark side to the community. Some individuals live in the area to escape from criminal pasts or personal demons, and the absence of law enforcement can sometimes lead to dangerous or unpredictable situations. Residents must be vigilant and aware of their surroundings, particularly at night when the isolation and darkness can breed uncertainty. Additionally, the community can sometimes be divided. While some residents thrive in the freedom of Slab City, others struggle with the lack of social support or camaraderie. The transient nature of the population means that relationships can be fleeting, and a sense of community can be hard to build. For some, the solitude can become overwhelming, and the lack of structure can lead to feelings of loneliness and despair. Slab City is a place of mystery, a place where freedom and danger coexist. It is a desert community formed by human hands and the forces of nature, a place where survival is a daily battle. It may not be perfect, but it holds a unique allure for those who crave freedom and independence. So, would you ever consider living in Slab City? Some people may love the chaos, while others may prefer a peaceful life. What about you? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.